The Independent Electoral Commission is refusing to register Herman Mashaba's ActionSA as a political party. This is because of similarities with the Party of Action and the use of the South African flag in the logo. The former Johannesburg mayor applied to register the party earlier this month. Let's get some reaction then to this from the ActionSA National Chairperson, Michael Beaumont, who joins me via Zoom. Michael, thank you for joining me. So the Independent Electoral Commission says your name is let's go at it step by step. Your name, they're saying that it's too similar to Party of Action. What do you say to that?
Yeah, Thulisizwe, we're very disappointed by that idea because, you know, we do not hold the view that the similarities are rising to the level where voters would be confused in a potential election between the two organizations. I think it's very important to indicate that while the names and logos are sufficiently different to allow for people to differentiate, the IEC is also being very inconsistent in the application of this law. Because you'll remember it was the IEC who admitted the African Independent Congress, an organization whose similarities to the ANC are far greater than this particular instance. So we believe that they have erred in their judgment, and we believe that this is a matter that must be dealt with in terms of our appeals.
And they also raised the issue around your flag and cite a law, I believe it's the Heraldry Act of 1962, thereabouts, as basically being problematic. What exactly are they telling you is problematic about you using the South African flag as part of your logo?
Well, they are indicating that we aren't allowed to use the South African flag as part of our logo, but Thulisizwe, we advance here that the IEC is going beyond their legal mandate. The IEC is entitled to reject an application on precisely two grounds. The first is the issue of similarity, which we have been discussing, but the other is if the identity of the organization engenders violence or hate speech. The IEC's reliance on a piece of legislation from 1962 in this particular matter is going well outside their legal grounds, and there's no way in which they can use that to reject the application for a political party. I think it would also be fair to say, Thulisizwe, that when you look at the logos of a number of political parties in South Africa, it is not a surprise that many parties draw their inspiration from our South African identity and the national flag.
Which parties are you thinking of? Are you thinking, I don't know, I'm just looking at the logo now, we've just been showing it on air, and I'm wondering which political party has basically gone to the extent that you've gone to in terms of almost taking the South African flag wholly and putting it as your logo and basically just putting a circle around it.
Certainly. Well, I think to be fair to Thulisizwe, our logo has actually evolved from the People's Dialogue, the public engagement process that has been followed for the last 9 months, and that was incorporated with the South African flag to produce the logo that we see today. But if you look at the logos of parties like COPE, like the Democratic Alliance, you will see that the colors of our South African flag and even the shapes and patterns appear in a very similar fashion to our South African flag.
All right. I suppose we'll continue to have the debate, though, Michael, about that particular issue. But let me park it for now and ask you about, so you are arguing that it's not within the purview of the Independent Electoral Commission to be even raising this particular argument?
Absolutely. But I think the key issue here is that for the IEC to say that our identity would confuse any potential voters of any other organization, we really do find that too ridiculous. And we will be exercising our internal appeal rights within the IEC, where we are very confident that our legal teams will succeed in being able to demonstrate the error of the judgment that has been made.
Yeah, in fact, talk to me a bit more about that path of recourse that you've mapped out for yourself. You're basically indicating that you'll fight this all the way to the courts if you have to.
Yes, absolutely. I think we must understand that the right to participate in the electoral process of South Africa is a very important constitutional right. It is not one that can be denied of any people or organization in an arbitrary manner. And we would advance that the manner in which this right is being denied of ActionSA and the millions of people who have been behind its formation has been entirely arbitrary.
Lastly, Michael, do you believe that this is a case of the IEC making an error of judgment and misapplying itself, or is there something more sinister, do you believe?
I do believe it's an error of judgment, Thulisizwe, and I think it's important to be fair to the IEC. There's a lot of good people who work at the IEC, and I'm not here to impugn whatever has gone on in this decision. Ours is to indicate that it is the incorrect decision, and to ensure that our rights to participate in the electoral process and to represent millions of South Africans cannot be denied.
All right, thank you for that. That is Michael Beaumont, who is the chairperson, national chairperson of ActionSA. They're reacting to the IEC's decision to turn down their application for registration as a political party on technical grounds at this particular point. Let's